Okay, so now let's talk about getting inputs from the user. This is a very important feature which is very vital for every program which might require you to interact with the user because you'll be needed to get some details from the user. So just like the same way we use the print function, the printf, it is similar to how this one is handled, the one which we use when we're getting input from the user. It's just that there's just some twists. So how does it work? Okay, so we're trying to get some data from the user, right? But okay, so okay, first let me show you the name of the function. The name of the function is called the scan function. This scan function is also part of this stdio library. Okay, so this will help us to get some data from the user. Now remember we are getting data from the user, but now so after getting data from the user, then where are we going to take the data? Where is it going to go? So we need to store it in a variable. So this function requires you to tell it in which variable are you intending to put this data into. Okay, and not just that, when this function get the data from the user, it also comes in bytes. You also need to tell it that, okay, um I want you, when you get the data, convert it into uh, this kind of format, this other data type. And that data type you're telling it to convert to should also match with the value in which it is going to store when it gets the data from the user. So what am I trying to say? So let's create a program. This program will be telling the user to input his or her age, and after the user inputs the age, it will then tell the user that you said that you are this years old, uh, depending on the value which the user has entered. So remember, we are first beginning by telling the user that enter your age. So we start with a function which will output to the screen telling the user to input the age, and it is none other than the print function. So let's see, printf. Yeah, so when you're dealing with just text directly which are not being stored in variables, you don't have to do all those format specifier things. You just need to go direct and type what you want to be outputted on the screen. So let's say I want to tell the user to enter his or her age. So let's say enter your age, and we put a semicolon. So the same order is how it is going to be executed. So initially it will tell the user to enter his or her age. Let's put the dots in front, dot, and then after outputting, it is now going to leave some space for a user to enter something. Okay. So now remember, we are getting the data from the user. It should be stored in a variable. So let's create, since this data we are getting is going to be an integer, let's create a variable called int, and we are going to name it age. You don't need it is not necessary to assign a value. Even if you assign, it is going to be replaced. But let's just declare a variable just to tell the computer that we have already prepared where to store it. the data the user will give us. Okay, so now we want to convert that data into the integer format. So let's put percentage, the format specifier of the conversion specifiers, and then comma in the variable. So now here it is different to how you handle variables in print when you're dealing with the print. So here you need to put, instead of the variable, you need to put the memory address. You need to put the memory address. That's why I had to teach the memory address pointers and stuff before talking about this scan f, because the concept okay, I would have been using it in the previous examples, but it wouldn't have been that it would have been irrational, because the memory address, it must be like it is a concept on its own. It should just be a topic on its own. Yeah, so that's why I'm now teaching you this after explaining the concept. Okay, so by now I'm pretty sure you already know that we use the reference operator to access the memory address of a specific variable. So let's put the AND, the reference operator. Ordinary people call it AND, and then let's put the name of the variable, which is age. So now scanf will store the value in the variable age. It needs the memory address, because this is the address now. This is where the memory is located to. We need to interact with the memory. We need to interact with the low level part of the computer. Yeah, that's how it goes. So now after the user enters, it is going to store in this variable. Then after storing, we want now again to tell the user that you have just said that you are this and that years old. So again, you're going to print, but this time, since we're going to utilize a variable, we are going to utilize a variable in this print function. So there will be some intervention of conversion specifiers. Yeah. That's the lesson. So let's say print. Let's say print f, and the conversion specifiers. Here we are going to use that joining technique, the concatenation technique. We are going to mix that integer with some text. Okay, so it is going to be like you have just said that you have just said that you are the variable, the value of the variable int, and then now the variable name, which is age. So it is going to take this age, the value of the age variable, and replace it with where there is this format specifier. So it's going to be, you have just entered that, you have just said that you are, and then after that, then years old. Now I want, when it print this enter your age, to start a new line. So I'm going to use this escape character. Not where I've just used it from. I'm going to put at the end like this. Okay, so now let's run the program. Okay, we've got an error. We've got a beautiful error. Okay, so we've got an error. What am I doing? I think I've just forgotten to put semicolon. What's going on? Semicolon. And then let's run. Okay, so it has now said enter your age. So we're just going to click on this blank dark screen. Then we are going to say I am 7 years old, and then if you are using a computer, you can just click on enter. But since this on a keyboard of a phone, this acts like that enter key on a computer. Where is it? Let me click on it again. Oops, it's disappearing. Okay, this which we use to go on a new line. This arrow on the bottom right corner. This button with an arrow pointing to the left side. Yeah, it has like the enter. So after entering 67, you click on this, and then it has said you have just said that you are 67 years old, and the program has been completed. So that's it. And one more concept which I have forgotten to explain. It has to do with the variables. Okay, I'll just explain in the next video. When I'll just talk about the constants now. I think this is it for this video.